passengers over the years. There was something unsettling about this particular passenger. The man was dressed in a long dark coat, and he wore a wide-brimmed hat that cast a shadow over most of his face. His posture was too still, too deliberate. It made Joe uneasy. Trying to break the tension, Joe cleared his throat and asked, "You been out late tonight, huh?" "Something like that," the man said quietly. "It's been a long night. Needed to disappear for a while." Joe forced a weak chuckle, though it felt unnatural. "Yeah, I get that. City can wear you down sometimes." For the next several minutes, they drove in almost complete silence. The man didn't touch his phone, didn't look out the window, didn't even shift in his seat. He just stared straight ahead, like he had one thing on his mind, and nothing else in the world mattered. Joe's phone buzzed in the dashboard holder, startling him slightly. It was a news alert. Citywide manhunt. Suspect in Midtown double homicide still at large. Armed and dangerous. He tapped the notification and glanced at the image that accompanied the alert. The face in the blurry security camera photo wasn't entirely clear, but the details were unmistakable. The black coat, the hat, the same eerie stillness. Joe's knuckles turned white as he gripped the steering wheel tighter. Suddenly, the man leaned forward without warning, his face moving close to Joe's ear. "Turn left here," he instructed, "then pull over by that old diner on the corner." Joe followed the instructions without protest, though his pulse was pounding in his ears. They came to a stop in front of a building that had clearly been closed for years. Its neon sign was shattered, and the windows were dark. The man slowly reached inside his coat, and Joe's heart froze. I don't want any trouble," Joe stammered, barely able to speak. The man paused, then pulled out a thick envelope and extended it toward Joe. "You kept calm," he said. "Didn't ask too many questions. That's rare." He opened the door, paused for a moment, and added, "You never saw me tonight. Understand?" Joe nodded quickly, swallowing hard. Didn't see a thing. Without another word, the man stepped into the shadows and disappeared behind the diner. Joe sat frozen in the driver's seat for several minutes, gripping the envelope with shaking hands. When he finally opened it, he found it stuffed with cash. Hundreds, maybe thousands. Was it blood money? He drove off, still trembling, unsure of what to do. A part of him wanted to go straight to the police, but fear held him back. Then his phone rang. "Joe," it was dispatch. "You picked up a guy on 34th just now. Said he flagged you down." "Yeah," Joe replied cautiously. "Why?" "We just checked your route. There's no camera footage of you stopping anywhere near there. In fact, you didn't even have a fare listed on the meter until about 10 minutes later. Are you messing with the system or what?" "What? No. I mean, he was there. Right there," Joe protested. There was a pause. "Joe, that diner he told you to stop at, it burned down 5 years ago. No one's been near it since." Joe's breath caught in his throat. He looked down at the envelope again, his fingers trembling as he reopened it. It was empty. No cash, no paper, nothing at all, except for a faint, acrid smell. Smoke. And on the back seat where the man had sat, Joe saw a before the next. 3 days later, the news reported that the real killer had been caught on a bus out of town. Shaken, Joe reviewed his dashcam footage. To his horror, there was no one in the back seat. Not once. Only silence. Only emptiness. That night, as he reluctantly got back into his cab, the dashboard meter beeped at exactly 2:13 a.m. He hadn't touched a thing. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and